4 million illegal aliens, $2 billion a month. Your Social Security money gone. While you worked your whole life paying into the system, millions who never contributed a dime were cashing in your checks. But that is only the tip of the iceberg. The entire Social Security system is bleeding out. And the establishment solution, let it die. Not Trump, though. He does have a plan that's driving the swamp insane. Have you heard of this? Baby bonds. Yes, Trump baby bonds. $1,000 for every American newborn. The critics are screaming it'll destroy Social Security. But here's what they're not telling you. Trump is not replacing the system. He's saving it. And the new commissioner just found $18 billion in fraud. Buckle up. We're going to show it all to you. Now, if you're getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of savings. But here is something that most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees only one thing. You are losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping. And that's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy. Buy gold or silver, coins or bars, shipped to your home or stored securely. Noble Gold is fair, transparent, no pressure, just solid information and real options. Visit nextnewsgold.com. When you own real assets, you have real wealth. The number on the screen, 877-646-5347. Give them a call over there. Tell them Gary Franchi said hello. And say hi to Colin for me, would you? Okay, so the press conference that was hosted yesterday by Caroline Leavitt at the White House. Our cameras were there capturing it all. And here's just one of the moments where the baby bonds were brought up. You've probably heard of these things. Let's go to the press conference.
Social Security.
Treasury Secretary Bessent meeting yesterday what he called the new Trump accounts for newborns, a quote, backdoor to privatizing Social Security. Does the administration view this new Trump accounts as a way to, in the long term, perhaps privatize Social Security?
What the Secretary of Treasury was saying, and what this administration believes, is that these Trump newborn accounts, which is an incredibly creative and great provision that was in the One Big Beautiful Bill for newborn babies and families and future generations of Americans, will help supplement, not substitute, Social Security. The Trump administration is wholeheartedly committed to protecting Social Security. The president did it in his first term. He's doing it again in this term. But these newborn accounts are another revenue stream for young people to watch their money grow throughout their lives and to one day be able to access those funds so they can hopefully build a home and live the American dream.
Treasury Secretary Bessent meeting yesterday what he called the new Trump accounts for newborns, a quote, backdoor to private.
A backdoor, no. Okay, so let's continue here. We have Commissioner Frank, Social Security Commissioner Frank. My second week on the job, the Inspector General sent a letter about $18 billion in improper payments.
Reserve. We made a commitment at the end of the trustee meeting, which actually published the information, that we would have a deep commitment to deliver on the president's promise to protect and preserve. And one of the ways we've been doing it is to begin to change the paradigm around outpayments. In my second week on the job, the Inspector General sent a letter talking about $18 billion in improper payments. We've already addressed half of that. It's about delivering a great control environment. We made a commitment.
$18 billion in improper payments. Here's more from the Treasury Secretary that you heard being referenced in the press conference. President Trump's $1,000 baby account, thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill, doesn't replace Social Security, it supplements it. Every newborn becomes a stakeholder in America's future, compounding wealth, not government dependence.
Not just the $1,000 baby bonds that every American citizen, every newborn is going to get. The Democrats hate this program because it brings capitalism and markets to every American, not just their constituents at the upper end. Over time, the compounding is going to be an incredible supplement to Social Security, not a replacement. It is a complement. And what I said was Social Security will continue as it is. It is intact. Everyone will get their check every month. But it's very exciting to me that there could be a big payout at the end of, when people turn 59 or 60 for the first time, Joe, because as you know, bottom 50% of households in America do not have financial assets, and President Trump is giving them financial assets. I believe that the reason you all have the mess you are about to have in New York, Caracas on the Hudson, is because people have given up on a market-based system. And the Trump administration is going to make every newborn a shareholder, and they are going to have a stake in the system. When you have a stake in the system, you do not want to bring down the system. So the power of compounding could mean a big payout that would be a complement, not a substitute for Social Security.
I remember when they first started talking about this and we were doing some math. I mean, can you imagine when you were born, if $1,000 was put into an account for you, what that would be worth now if it was never touched? Sheesh. We also found out this one day ago. Did you know that DOGE discovered almost 4 million illegal aliens received Social Security in the past 4 years, at least $2,000 a month per illegal. That amounts to $2 billion a month stolen from Social Security and given to illegal aliens. Now you know why Social Security is almost insolvent. Have you had enough yet? Here we have more from the Commissioner of Social Security.
And we have 300 active cardholders, 300 million active cardholders, and we have to serve them as best as possible. You know, we had a website that was down for 29 hours a week scheduled. It's down 0 time now. So Americans can transact every day on the web through Social Security. We will eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. We will do a great job in delivering a better experience for the American population. We have
29 hours a week. That is how long the Social Security website was down. There is no excuse for that. Here we have an update on the no tax on tips in Social Security. Mark Tepper says, but Social Security runs out by 2033 and we're $34 trillion in debt. $300 billion in tariffs should cut deficits, not fund rebates. Real reform means tough choices on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and defense.
Reduction for seniors.
No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security benefits. That is politically popular. Is it good for the economy?
Well, less tax is always going to be good for the economy. But at the same point in time, we do at some point have to fix and close our deficit and start to chisel away at the debt. So that's where it presents a problem. As for the no tax on Social Security, or really an increased standard deduction for seniors, the biggest issue I see there is Social Security. The trust fund is going to be belly up by 2033. So we have to immediately begin to fix that. And I know that's always been political suicide to get out there and try to attack it, but that is something that needs to be done. And when you're cutting taxes on all these items, it does present a challenge.
We get $300 billion this year from revenue from tariffs.
Yes.
That should go towards deficit reduction and not to a rebate for people. What do you think?
100%. Yeah. I mean, we have to right the fiscal ship. It's been heading in the wrong direction for a long time. But the issue, when you look at just our expenses, we bring in about $5 trillion a year in tax revenue. And if you add up Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, interest on our debt, and defense spending, of which you can't cut any of those things, right? That's over $5 trillion. So at the end of the day, yes, we need to close the deficit, but we need to attack those 5 things as well.
Somehow or other.
And now we're learning that Fred from Florida has a good idea. Funnel the money from tariffs back into programs people need, like Medicaid and Social Security, after we pay our debt first. Listen, this is from Steve Gruber on Real America's Voice.
Back into the workforce.
I like Steve Gruber.
All this tariff that they bring in billions of dollars, I'd like to see the president mandate put maybe $1 billion or $2 billion back in Social Security and get that off the table about going out of money. And I hope they prosecute all these people who would Russiagate, regardless of the name.
I agree with that. That's not a bad idea, Fred. Funnel the money from the tariffs back into these programs that people need, Medicaid, Social Security, the things that they need late in life when they can't go back into the workforce. Maybe their health has declined or just too old. I don't think that's the worst idea I've heard. But again, I say pay down the debt, pay off your credit cards before you go out to dinner. Let's see where we can get with that. But you're right. The solvency of these programs,
agree with that too.
Incredibly important. Fred, thank you for calling from the free state of Florida today. Look, guys, we have been lied to, cheated, stolen from for years in this country, maybe my entire life, but no worse than what I've seen in the last few weeks as it all becomes perfectly crystal clear. We were all right. Donald Trump was right. They lied about everything. They were hooked up with George Soros and Hillary Clinton. You know who they weren't hooked up with? The Russians. Except the Russians may have amplified it some just for sport, while Vladimir Putin giggled about all of it. He over there with a smirk on his face.
If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. This is what real leadership looks like. While Democrats raid Social Security to fund illegals $2 billion a month stolen from your retirement, Trump is building wealth from birth. Baby bonds are not some socialist handout. They are ownership. Every American child becomes a shareholder in America's success. Treasury Secretary Bessent, he gets it. Compound wealth, not government dependence. Meanwhile, they are cleaning house at Social Security. $18 billion in fraud, half already recovered. Website down 29 hours a week, now zero. That's business efficiency replacing bureaucratic incompetence. Even Fred from Florida sees it. Use tariff money to save Social Security, not fund more giveaways. The establishment hates this because it works. Mark Tepper warns about tough choices ahead, but Trump's the only one who's making them. So here's the question. Should illegal aliens who receive Social Security benefits be prosecuted for fraud? Drop a yes or no in the comments below. And if you'd like to see them shipped off to Alligator Alcatraz, you can simply do so by supporting that beautiful all-inclusive resort with a shirt at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Or you can help us expose President Otto Penn, or even pick out your favorite member of the administration. Yeah, I think Tulsi Gabbard's the employee of the month right now, at least for July. We'll see what happens in August. You can get it all at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.